Hey there, I'm Charlie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my New Year's resolutions for 2024. First of all, yes, I know it is already May. The first few months of this year have been really hectic and it just completely got away from me. Rather than skipping the video and not releasing it at all, I thought I'd make it for you now. However, because it is May, a few of these items have already been done and I'll just let you know as we go through them. And secondly, because it's 2024, I decided to pick 24 different goals to be my New Year's resolutions, and I've broken them down into 4 different categories. The first category with 5 goals is personal and creative. The second category with 4 goals is financial. The third category, also with 4 goals, is markets and shopping. And the final category with the remaining 11 goals is activities and adventures. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's jump right into our first category, personal and creative. 1. Finish current 3 books. I am currently reading 3 different books, one to myself, one to the Headless Housemate, and one to my best friend. I'm really enjoying all 3 of these books, but ever since I became an adult, I've really struggled to get the concentration and focus needed for reading, so these books have just taken us so long to get through. The book I'm reading to myself, I think I started in 2020 and have restarted multiple times. Fingers crossed, this is the year I get to finish them. 2. Set up my media bullet journal. I've been actively bullet journaling for a little over a year now, and for the majority of that time, I've been planning my media bullet journal, or Bujo. My media Bujo is going to be specifically focused on all of the film and TV that I want to engage with in my lifetime. I've been researching titles throughout history of different things that I want to engage with for months. I have multiple notebooks filled with things I want to include in this journal, but I've barely started it. I am so excited to use this journal that I have done so much research and put together so much that is going to be a part of it that I am now terrified to touch the damn thing. I have made an insurmountable, overwhelmingly large task out of something that I was doing as a hobby, because that is what I do, but I think I finally figured out a way to break the task down into manageable chunks, and I will hopefully, fingers crossed, get my media journal set up this year. 3. Launch my Accessible Adventures series on YouTube. As you may or may not know, I am chronically ill and disabled, and I use a variety of different mobility devices day to day. And I'm also someone who loves a good adventure. Now, don't get me wrong, growing up in a small town, sometimes the adventure was grabbing your friend and getting a soft serve at 3 AM before going to Kmart. But regardless of what the adventure is, I love it. However, since developing my health conditions, I have realized how restricted I now am when it comes to seeking out and participating in such adventures. And one of the things that has been a real hindrance for me is not having enough adequate resources depicting what the accessibility is like in different places or for different functions, venues, etc. My goal is to start a series here on my channel where I will explore local and hopefully not so local places eventually and document for you how accessible they actually are. I'm going to look at a combination of accessibility factors, but it will be primarily focused on mobility related accessibility, as that is where I have the most experience and knowledge, but I will of course try to branch out, research, study, and incorporate as much different accessibility information as possible on each venue. So that's something that I am really excited to get started, and I really hope it goes well. 4. Capture 1 second a day for the whole year. Several years ago, I saw an app on Facebook called 1 second every day. As the name suggests, it's an app where you take a 1 second long video clip every day, and then at the end of a given time period, you can mash all the clips together into a video that is a summary of that period of time. The moment I came across it, I thought it was a really cool idea, but I have failed every year since. I would like to make it through 1 full calendar year of capturing 1 second every day, and hopefully I can manage it in 2024. 5. Lose 20 kilos. This isn't something that I would typically share online, but since developing my chronic illness and disability, I've felt a lack of control in a lot of my life. especially when it comes to my physical health. That and several other factors that I won't be going into have led me to want to regain control wherever possible in my life. And one of the ways that I'm doing that is trying to take better care of my physical health. In doing so, I've lost about 40 kilos so far, slowly, healthily, and gradually, and I wanted to give myself a bigger goal to work towards. Something that was going to be feasible, but I would still have to put in some effort to. And with that in mind, I came up with the goal to try to lose another 20 kilos, in addition to the previous 40 I have lost, which would bring my total weight loss to 60 kilos. I'm not going to hold myself to this too strictly because I know from my own experience that that can be a negative thing, but I wanted to give myself something to work towards. Next up, we have our second category, financial. 6. Sell the Mirage. I have a car that I do not use because I cannot drive it anymore due to my health conditions, and I plan on selling it. That's it. 7. Pay off ZipPay. Another pretty straightforward one. I'm working on paying off the remainder of my ZipPay loan. 8. Pay off the electric wheelchair. I've recently gotten my newest mobility aid, which is an electric wheelchair, and it has improved my life tremendously. However, I did not have the money to buy it at the time, so we had to borrow that money, and we are aiming to pay it back completely this year. 9. Buy a new hard drive. Now that I've gotten back into filming, I suddenly am lacking storage space for data. Between the footage of me getting back into making videos and my general love of photos and other forms of media, I need a bigger hard drive. The one I have is too small. Simple as that. And with that, we're jumping into our third category, markets and shopping. 10. DFO Shopping Trip. Since moving to Victoria over 7 years ago, I have somehow not shopped at a DFO since I got here, and it's just something that I want to do. I think it's time. So this year I want to go to a DFO. I no longer have enough fingers, so I'm going to stop doing that and just say the numbers. 11. Geelong thrift shops. I really love thrifting and op shopping. I always have, ever since I was little. I don't think it's going to go away. So obviously when I moved to Victoria, I continued thrifting and going to op shops. Last year, the headless housemate and I went out to Geelong to look at thrift shops in that area, and there were some beauties. There were some bloody incredible thrift shops in Geelong, and I just loved them, and I am so gung-ho to go back. I need to be there. And I need to take my friends. 12. Queen Vic Market. Back when I lived in Tasmania, whenever we would come up to Melbourne, I would go to the Queen Vic Markets. It was just one of those things you did. I really liked it, and it has a certain level of nostalgia for me. And now that I live here, when I go, I get nostalgia for home. And I think that's the main reason I like it. It's not my favorite market in the terms of buying things or even location, but I like going there. So I want to go back this year. 13. Salamanca Market. Salamanca Market in Tasmania is my happy place. I'm a born and raised Tasmanian, and I lived there for over 2 decades. The market is still one of my favorite things to do when I go home, and I will often go more than once in a trip. Unlike the Queen Vic Market and the Geelong thrift shops and everywhere else that I want to go, Salamanca is a Saturday only market. So it's only once a week. It has hundreds of stalls. It's amazing. All of the local businesses, artisans, breweries, every form of alcohol you can imagine. So much food, so much woodwork. I love the woodwork. There's just so much there, and there are buskers and entertainers, and it's just home. In every possible way, it's home for me, and I miss it so much. I haven't been in years since my last time I was in Tassie, and I am going back to Tasmania this year. I am going back to Tasmania this year, and I cannot wait. I will be going to the markets. And that brings us to our fourth and final category for my New Year's resolutions, which is activities and adventures. 14. Melbourne Aquarium. Once again, I've lived in Victoria for over 7 years, and I have somehow never gone to sea life. I've never gone to the aquarium in Melbourne. It just never happened. I love animals. I love zoos. I love animal education experiences. I love all of those things. I've been wanting to go to sea life for years, literally years, and it just never happened. for whatever reason. But I am very excited to say that we went in January. I did go to Sea Life in January, so I can tick this New Year's resolution off. I may even show a picture or two. It was so good. It was so worth going, and I highly recommend it. Part of the reason that I have not gone to Sea Life before is because it's really bloody expensive and I just couldn't justify it. But I used the free day out passes from last year's Macca's Monopoly, so I got to go for free and it was amazing, and I would absolutely go again. 15. All 4 Victoria zoos. So as previously mentioned, I love any good animal experience, zoo, aquarium, education centre. I'm for it all. And I particularly love the zoos in Victoria. As of last year, there are now 4 zoos in Victoria, part of the Zoos Victoria membership. With that membership, you also have reciprocal access to 5 interstate zoos, but I'm not going to any of those states this year. However, I will be in Victoria for most of the year and I have the membership again, so I will be going to all 4 Victorian zoos at least once each. I've already been to the Werribee Zoo once this year and I will be going back soon, and I cannot wait. The 4 Victoria zoos, for anyone who doesn't know, are Werribee Zoo, Melbourne Zoo, Hillsville Sanctuary and the Kyabram Fauna Park. Kyabram joined the fold of Zoos Victoria in 2023 and I went there last April for the first time, and I'm very much looking forward to going back. Hopefully this time I will actually be able to see the reptile exhibit because it was under construction last time. So I have already made a start on these, but I will go see all of the zoos this year. 16. Go to the theatre. And this is another one that gets a big tick. I have already been to the theatre this year and I'm going back. So far this year I have seen Grease the musical. I saw it in February at Her Majesty's Theatre and it was amazing. Loved it so much. I think it's in Sydney now. If you're there, go see it. Worth it. So bloody worth it. I could keep talking about it, but if I do, I will gush. I have also got multiple other theatre experiences lined up this year and I am beyond excited. I've just booked my tickets to go see Wicked. 17. Drag Roulette. Drag Roulette, if you don't know, is a once a week drag event in Melbourne at Molly's where drag queens will get up and compete to a randomly chosen song. It's really fun and amazing and it's so worth seeing. A friend of mine is a performer in the community and I saw them a few times before COVID, but then COVID happened and since then I just haven't had the opportunity to go back yet, and now I just really miss it, so I want to go back and hopefully they'll be well enough to perform again, but we'll see. It would just be really amazing to go. I highly recommend it if you are interested in drag and live in Victoria. 18. Drive-in cinema. Whatever reason, I've never been to a drive-in in my life. I've always wanted to go, and there is one in Victoria and it's surprisingly cheap, but I just haven't gone yet. I am really excited to go though. I have big plans. I really want to go this year. It's really cheap compared to, you know, other cinemas, and hopefully I can make it happen. 19. Try a new restaurant. This is a goal I give myself every year, both to try a new restaurant and to try new food. I have grown up with a lot of issues relating to food. I have a lot of food aversions. I was always labeled a picky eater. I really do enjoy food, so I want to experience new things. And one of those things that I thought would be a nice new experience would be a restaurant I've never been to. So I would like to do that this year. 20. Go on a picnic. Once again, I can give this one a big tick. I have already been on a picnic this year and it was lovely. I do hope I go on more because I genuinely enjoy having picnics, but so far I've just had the one. 21. Host a games night. I love games. In case that wasn't clear, I love games. I really love games, especially board games and card games, but I like video games as well. And I really like having games night. I like having people over and playing games and talking and laughing and just generally enjoying each other's company. So I definitely want to do that this year. 22. Play a DnD One-Shot. I have very little role-playing experience when it comes to D&D or any other tabletop game, but I have a lot of people in my life and have had a lot of people in my life who really enjoy them, and I'm very curious about it, and a lot of the people that I interact with have also expressed interest, but it's just so hard to organize and the idea of running a campaign or being a part of a campaign seems like a tremendous commitment, and that seems overwhelming. And so I thought maybe we should get all the people who've expressed interest to get together and we can all just have a one-off. We'll do a one-shot game, it'll be a one-off hangout, and then if people enjoy it and we decide it's something we want to pursue, we can look at that afterwards. That's the logic anyway. Don't know if it'll happen, but I hope it does. 23. Visit Tassie. I cannot wait to go back to Tassie. I love Tassie. I am from Tassie. Tassie being Tasmania, just in case you don't know what I'm talking about. I am Tasmanian. That's where I was born. That's where I grew up. That's where most of my family lives. I love Tasmania. I cannot wait to go back. There is so much that I am looking forward to about my next trip. I have been saving for freaking ages. I've bought my tickets. I'm so excited. It's not until December, but I am so excited and I just cannot wait. It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. 24. Hastings Thermal Springs. While in Tasmania, I will be visiting the thermal springs out at Hastings by the Hastings Caves because they're wonderful and amazing, and now that I have mobility issues I cannot go into the caves because they are obviously not accessible, but the thermal springs are, and they're lovely, and there's a beautiful walk through the woods and it's so pretty and I just can't wait to go, and I think it'll be really relaxing and really lovely and a great day trip, and I just cannot wait, and I think that it is the perfect final resolution for 2024. And there we have it. Those are my 24 New Year's resolutions for 2024. I really hope that I get to achieve them. I'm really excited about the ones that I have already started working towards and the ones that I already have completed, and I am so looking forward to taking on some of these challenges and getting to share the experience along the way with you. I've put all of my resolutions in the description below, as well as links to some of the things I've talked about. They're not sponsored in any way, but feel free to check them out if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you liked it. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more videos coming from me. I hope you're having an amazing day and I can't wait to see you all again soon. Bye!